Okay, so, as of editing this video, it seems Steel decided to drop the Ruin DLC gameplay trailer. That was a complete surprise to me. So I guess I gotta delay this video a little bit. So what's gonna happen here is you're going to see the original video that I was just editing, and then afterwards you're going to see all my thoughts on the Ruin stuff. So let's just get to the video first of the movie. Okay, so it's been a couple of days since the trailer dropped for the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, and I considered I should give my thoughts on it. I was going to do like a initial right then and there, the day of kind of thing, but I wanted to see how people were going to react. So I should start by saying I was there when Jason Blum was doing all the put the teasers on here and all that, and I didn't think it was going to be that much. I just saw the teasers and I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. But as soon as I saw him post a video, I was just like, oh, it's on now. It is on. I did come over to do a reaction video and I made it all, but I wanted to have my thoughts a little bit more organized. So I have a little list of things that I want to think about and some controversies that have come up from this, which I don't fully get. But let's start out here with the actual movie trailer. So my overall thoughts. This looks amazing. I cannot believe it's kind of weird after having watched something like Willy's Wonderland and now actually having a FNAF movie here is kind of strange. Because yes, I have seen Willy's Wonderland and I love that movie. I feel like I'm gonna love this movie just as much. This is gonna be great. Because everything looks as perfect as it can be. This is what I'd expect from a FNAF movie. There's nothing objectively wrong I can see with it. Everything just looks fun. But talking about a few little things that people were less than excited about, I guess. Let's start off with the location. People are saying it's not one-to-one with the games, and it's of course not. Of course it wouldn't be one-to-one to the games, because in the lore of the series, the games are actually games. So they would be different from the actual location, because why would the indie dev put all that effort into making it look just one-to-one with the actual location? Just make a spooky area. That's all it needs to be. So it doesn't need to look exactly the same. What we got, I love, because it makes me fully nostalgic for the old Chuck E. Cheese and different diners that I've been to in my life. It looks perfect for that smaller but still a little bit more budgeted diner aesthetic. It looks fantastic. I love the little stained glass. I'd love one of those. That's awesome. I love how that looks. One thing I did see that I also kind of agree with is the fact that in the office it's just the game poster, which doesn't make sense, but I'm gonna let it slide because it's a nostalgic thing. It's whatever. So let's get on to the Saw Trap, which is kind of funny considering this movie is releasing the exact same day as Saw X. So this is not a trap. People have been thinking, oh, this is a trap, this is a spring lock, this is how this is a different version of Scooper, or some way to get remnant. No, that's not what this is. Looking at it properly, this is actually, and also when you see the extra image that was put onto Getty Images or whatever, you can clearly see it is where the animatronics get, the endoskeletons get their costumes. So the saws are clearly gears that are turning that are going to connect to the head. The eyes are going to connect to where the red dots are and stuff like that. So it all looks like it makes sense. It does seem like this head shouldn't be powered on during this sequence, and that's why it's going to be lethal to anyone who's a part of it. But it all makes sense, at least. It looks good. But the biggest thing that's weird is the fact that it's withered. it's slightly withered. Like the ear has some withering, the jaw has some withering. So there's a potential this could actually be a withered Freddy's head. I'm not 100% on that, so don't go 100%. It could just be another Freddy head, but like it's strange. Anyways, let's get on to one of the biggest controversies: the red eyes. Man, people do not like these eyes. I don't personally get it. I don't get why people are so mad about the characters having red eyes. Like, I think it looks neat. I've seen people say that it's because the blank white silver eyes makes them look a little bit more like you can't tell what they're thinking. But if we go back to the beginning of the trailer to where Freddy's behind Mike, you can see that he's still normal. He's kind of just standing there, kind of like sizing him up. Like, what I think is going to be in this movie specifically is the animatronics are not going to attack at first. They might be alive and they might even talk to Mike just normally. It might even be just like a casual thing. And that would actually be kind of cool to just see the animatronics being casual. The idea is that maybe Abby sneaks along with Mike, and he doesn't like that. He wanted her to stay home because she's not supposed to be here. She's supposed to be in bed. She's supposed to be, and he's kind of berating her. He's kind of like getting angry, and the animatronics see this, and that either one, mess with the programming, or two, the souls of the children inside of them see this and parallel that to their own deaths. So now they're kind of upset now. Like, this is them going into that rage mode, that alert mode, and that's why they start going after Mike, because they're trying to protect Abby, and they think that Mike is going to hurt her. That's why I think they have the red eyes, because that could be an attack mode or it could be a rage mode with the the agony inside of them, perhaps. Now, the ball pit. The ball pit, I think, is going to, it might act the exact same as it does into the pit, to where it could transport to back in the good old days. I think, so if you've seen like rumors about the movie, there's been a lot of talks about the movie taking place mostly in like this area of Freddy's where it's already shut down, and everything else is in flashbacks. But I don't think it's just going to be flashbacks. I think it's going to be characters experiencing the past. So if we go into the missing children's part, you see this scene which looks almost like maybe Mike touched like the ball pit, fell into the ball pit or something like that, and now he's fallen into this strange new world that's like a forest. He gets up and he looks behind him, and there's the souls of the children who are inhabiting the animatronics, and they run off into their own areas to show Mike maybe some of the past, like FNAF 2 and stuff like that. So he will actually be able to experience these things that happened and what his father did and see why everything is wrong. And maybe he can even help some of the spirits move on. But that's just my thought. But speaking of this is a very big stretch. But that also goes into who is Vanessa. What's Vanessa's role in this movie? So, whenever Ruin finally gets released, whenever we get something for that, one of my hopes is that at the end we do actually have like an ending where Vanessa gets out or something like that, and she helps with some of the remaining agony. So maybe she touches one of the animatronics and she's teleported like Mike is. She gets teleported back to the past to help finally help these characters move on. And what we see in the movie could be Vanessa coming in to help everyone at that time. So she's not actually there. She's there to help everyone move on, help their spirits. But I'm not 100% about that, because this is a movie that has to cater to general audiences. It can't just be like a combination with Ruin and Security Breach and all that, because the general public probably wouldn't know about that story nor the ending. So that's just a big thing. It's probably just Scott messing with us again and trying to add another Jeremy to the lore. But that's pretty much everything I had to talk about with this one. Hopefully it was a little bit more of it was easier to listen to, and I know I ramble a lot. I'm sorry about that. I'm not good with live commentary kind of stuff like this, but I hope it went well enough. So I think that's all I got for now. Okay, and we're now back. We're now back with live stuff. We're back now with the Ruin stuff. Because as I said at the beginning, this just came out. Oh my gosh. So, like, what do I say? Like, this is crazy. Like, when I started making that video before, I genuinely didn't think we would get Ruin news this early on. I saw the Security Breach TV stuff updated and stuff like that, but I was like, surely we're like at least like maybe 3 weeks away from, like, because we need a few teasers before that, like they did before, or even like that Sony State of Play or whatever, like that was coming up. But no, like they just dropped it. Like, okay. So, hey, more live commentary. Aren't we happy about that? So I'm gonna try to make this quick because I don't want this video to be too long. I've already got some of my thoughts. I've already put up some stuff. So if I look here at the stuff, so my overall thoughts. Wow. Something you should know about me: I love abandoned, derelict places. Like just abandoned houses, abandoned buildings, just that aesthetic of time stood still. It's kind of crazy, but also like the decay. Like I've always said, there's a beauty in there's beauty in the macabre. There's beauty in the sadness. It's all, and that's what I feel from this. Like this, so you know me, I've been speedrunning this game for like since this game came out. Like I love speedrunning this game. And seeing these places that I've ran through so many times, that I'm so used to, just completely abandoned, is so like heart-wrenching. Like it's so weird to look at, because I'm so used to how lively and colorful it is. And that's to its benefit as well. People were kind of complaining about Security Breach not being dark enough, not being scary enough. It's like, well, you can't have dark without the light. It's kind of like a parallel that's always been there with Five Nights at Freddy's. Even from the first game, during the day, it's a place of joy. You have to start with the day to get the night. You need the sun to get the moon. See? It's all there. It's all connected. It's so cool. So I have a few little things to point out that like fascinated me. One, Cassie's model, she does look a little bit different from her Ruin teaser version. So they might have changed her a little bit during development, because she doesn't have that white jacket anymore. She has a red jacket seemingly, unless the white is just underneath that. She takes the jacket off at some point or something like that. I don't know. And also it looks like she's maybe like a brunette instead of a blonde in the teaser. So it does seem like there's a few things that have changed. That was just a small thing. The animatronic designs, wow, they look extra spookage. Roxy in particular, I still can't tell if she has like a mask on or if that's just her endoskeleton. I need to look more at her shattered variant to tell, because it looks different, but it also looks like just the endoskeleton head. But it's very different from the natural endoskeletons. So I have no clue. Monty looks like he's been through the ringer. I'll tell you that much. Like whatever happened to Bonnie, like Monty must have gotten it even worse. Chica still seems like she's like continuing to go. It looks fine, but she also definitely she got it off the best, I think. But speaking of the animatronics, this is such a super minor thing that like only I would notice, but I just have to bring it up. Monty's red tooth. So in his normal form, like when he hasn't gotten shattered or anything, he's normal. He's just like Monty. But then as soon as he gets shattered, his model suddenly has one single red tooth. And it's like, I always thought maybe that's like a material issue, like maybe they didn't apply a material to this model. But it's like, if you look at that Halloween update that got onto Steam, those new pictures, the model that they use for that is a completely new model, because you could tell by like the eyebrows and stuff like that. That's a completely new model they made for this image. But he still has his red tooth, which is weird. But if we look at Monty when he's doing that full jump scare, he doesn't have his red tooth. So what's up with that? I've never been able to figure out why he has this tooth and why it's not here now. So I don't know, maybe Steelwool's just messing with me. But speaking of Bonnie, I'm nearly certain that at the end this is Bonnie. This is just like Bonnie reaching out, maybe the programming of Bonnie, like between the programming of Glitchtrap or the Mimic or something like that. Because Bonnie has always been like the biggest mystery in this entire game, so of course he would have to be a major portion of this entire game. Like he has to be a big part of everything. And finally, my last point I'm going to make, because this was fascinating to me, was the release date. It says just July 2020. But if we look over at the physical edition that's been like teased on GameStop, you'll see that it actually says as the release date July 11th. So it only makes sense that maybe we'd be getting the physical Nintendo Switch release alongside the brand new DLC. So I think the actual release date is July 11th because of what GameStop had here. So we've got a couple months before that's there, but man, this is exciting. So thank you for putting up with this rather long video, I'd say, because this was a lot of thoughts, and putting up with my rambling and my scatterbrain. This is why I script out my stuff, because I can't. But whatever. Thank you for watching, and I swear I'll be posting a few more things after this. Like, I know I've been gone for a good bit, and I've been kind of off. I've been focusing a lot on the gameplay, the gaming channel, Raybeam, and just kind of like doing live streams over on Twitch and doing videos over there. But I am working on stuff for this channel. I'm sorry it's been taking so long. But with that, I'm off. Be well out there.